Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of In Conversation with Mr. Amol Mazumdar, the domestic stalwart. Even before launching into his maiden domestic season as a Mumbai coach, Amol Mazumdar has rescued the Mumbai team with valiant efforts during his playing career. We're honored to have you here with us today, sir.
Pleasure.
Sir, to begin with, how was your childhood? During your childhood, you wanted to become an athlete, precisely a sprinter. So, how did you become a cricketer? How's your journey been?
God knows why, how and why I became a cricketer. But thank God I became a cricketer because it has given me a lot of highs, more than lows. So I feel blessed that I became a cricketer. It wasn't a conscious effort but I was good at athletics and I was good at sprinting. So I thought in my mind, a young mind always has got too many things. So I thought I was good at it, so I'll become a sprinter. But God had different plans.
So, as you said, you wanted to become a sprinter. So, what is it that you learned at the age of 5 or 6 that is helping you even now?
I think that seed was sowed by my father. Way before the times. I think it was early 70s when fitness wasn't a great deal at that time. But he was a little bit a forward thinker, and I thank God for it that my dad happened to uh, sow that seed in my mind that you need to be an athlete first. And so my journey started by jogging. Early morning jogs were terrific, and I think my dad was really instrumental in shaping my career, not just as a cricketer but as an overall athlete.
So, basically, you started working on your fitness at a very young age, right?
Yes, it did. It did give me a lot of benefits. Even now, sometimes the reason sometimes I'm asked that how come I had a 21-year-old career in
Yeah.
first class cricket, and I just have to thank my fortunes that I was you can call me a fitness freak. So I mean, looking at me now, you won't realize it, but probably when I was playing the sport, I was more fitter.
You've definitely had a great journey. So, you were the highest run scorer in Ranji, breaking Amarjit Kaipi's record along with holding a world record for highest debutant run scorer with 260 runs in your first class cricket. So, what do you say about creating such a fabulous record?
Um, you know, I was very young at that time. 1993 was the time when it happened, and it, I just wanted to make a mark in first class cricket at that time. I just wanted to make a place for myself in Mumbai team. I had got a chance after quite some time, although I was just 18 years old. But I was knocking at the doors, and for a while for Mumbai, and so I was just determined not to give it up,
Yeah.
and not to lose my place when stalwarts like Tendulkar, Manjrekar, Kamli, they came in. Just went on doing my job, and eventually the world record happened at that juncture. So yeah, I mean, I played cricket to enjoy. Look,
Yeah.
I played cricket to fulfill my dreams, and in that phase, some of the records got broken, some of the records were still intact, and that's how the journey has been.
So now that we're talking about Sachin, you and Sachin have had the same coach. However, in that era, Sachin, Dravid have had amazing careers. You've had an amazing journey as well. However, Sachin, Dravid, and other players got tremendous international success. So, what do you have to say upon that?
Well, they were, uh, I would not like to comment on what Sachin and Rahul Dravid went on to achieve. The world knows it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you look back at it, when I look back at it, I just feel that we are playing as the same sport with same passion, with same enjoyment. I got enough enjoyment out of the sport as soon as I crossed that boundary rope and I went inside, it didn't matter to me whether I was playing in England for club cricket, or whether I was playing in Holland in club cricket, or whether I was playing in the Maidans of Mumbai, or whether I was playing at Wankhede Stadium. It didn't matter to me. Basically, I got over that feeling and I just felt that I need to enjoy my sport. So it didn't matter where Tendulkar was playing or Dravid was playing. I was enjoying myself.
So you basically never stopped yourself from playing cricket.
Cricket was my dream. Cricket gave me immense pleasure and enjoyment. So it didn't matter. After a while, it didn't matter whether I was playing international cricket or not. Whenever I played, I crossed that rope. I gave my 100%, and I don't have any regrets about anything. Sitting here and giving you the interview, I don't have any regrets at all.
So at some point, did you have some sort of a sense of disappointment knowing that you deserved to get selected in the national team?
I would be lying if I say that I didn't have any disappointment. Of course, I had a lot of disappointments. There were at one stage it wasn't just disappointment; it was disheartening. There's a difference between a disappointment and disheartened self. So I was disheartened at one given time, but eventually you just have to get over certain things. Luckily for me, I think my sometimes people say that I'm mentally very strong and very stubborn. Probably the stubbornness took me out of that. It's good sometimes.
Yeah,
to be stubborn,
definitely. So during that time, like definitely, it's a good thing. Like you must have had some sort of lows in your life. So how have you kept yourself going? How have you motivated yourself?
It was just about I don't want to sound weird or brag about this, but it's an honest truth that since I was 13 years old, I didn't know anything other than scoring runs. My job was to get runs, and I was getting bucket load of runs. Whether it was junior cricket, under 15, under 17, under 19s, Ranji Trophy, or club cricket, my job was to get runs, and that's all I focused on. Obviously there will be some lows because you're batting, and it's a although they say it's a batsman's game, but a batsman needs only one ball to get out. So there will be a lot of disappointments. There were 80%, 75 to 80% of the time I failed. But you just have to make sure. I think batting teaches you a lot of stuff. Batting for me was meditation, and I developed that kind of a bond with batting, and eventually it helped me, getting over my lows.
So now when we're talking about lows in today's world, like many people are coming up and talking out about their mental health. However, 20 to 25 years back, talking about mental health was a taboo. It was considered only for weak people. So what do you have to say about that?
We need to hit a balance here. We cannot go from one extreme to the other. As you said, 20-25 years back, it was a taboo. It wasn't a taboo, but people didn't speak about it. I mean, I went through disappointments and disheartened self, and my mind was at one given point, and my mind was completely gone. I was disheartened, but you just had to come over it. You have to come over it somehow. You need to gather strength from outside, inside, wherever you can, and then try and get over it. It was just a sheer coincidence that I happened to bat to get myself back on track. It was a taboo, as you said, but today people should not go the other way. Every time you talk about something, it's a mental issue. No, you need to sort it out. Try and get your things right. Try and get your bearings right, and try and sort yourself out.
Because in today's world, I think people have to change the way they're looking at mental issues, because sometimes they use it as an excuse, but for the ones who really are facing with some mental issues, they need to be encouraged to talk about it.
True, but it is all mental issue has not been just in today's world. It has been ever since mankind. It has to be, isn't it? So why make fuss about it? Try and get help. Try and sort yourself out. Get your bearings right, as I said. Of course, you need to speak about it, but don't go to another extreme. My only humble request is try and find a balance.
Definitely. The Mumbai team recently toured Oman, and you were the coach of the team. So, would you like to tell your journey on that tour?
It was a very fulfilling journey, I feel. Just for that tour, we prepared well. We went out there and executed our plans, and I was really happy with the boys, and really happy with the preparations and the hard work that was put in by the boys. Only thing I would say that Oman was a good exposure for a sheer fact that all the boys, or we as a team, had not gone on the cricket ground for 18 months. And it was a difficult time for everyone. And in August, this tour came to us like a blessing.
And now, talking about Cricket South Africa, you worked with Cricket South Africa as a coach as well as in franchisee cricket. So, which stint do you prefer?
South Africa I was a batting consultant in their test series. People say that I did not play test cricket. That was one of my dreams, to play test cricket. But I think the South Africa stint was more fruitful and more enjoyable, purely because I tasted test cricket in that series. Franchisee cricket, of course, I'm with Rajasthan Royals. I've been with Rajasthan Royals for a while now. Royals is a great experience. Undoubtedly pressure cooker situations that emerge out of IPL. I like franchise cricket, but I love test cricket.
So, I think that's it from our side, sir. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time to us. It was a pleasure having you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.